morning everyone, welcome back, me again. Hope you're doing well. I know these are funny times and it's hard to get through them, isn't it? But remember, the best tips we can give each other to help us through these times is exercise, good nutrition, have a laugh and care for someone else. So if you know anyone out there who's lonely or very isolated at this moment, even just phoning them can be good. It'll be wonderful for them, they'll be glad to hear from you and you'll feel good about yourself because you've done it. And I am hoping that I'm going to help make your day a little bit better by running through the scone recipe again. You know it well. The basic recipe for a sweet scone is a pound of self-raising flour with a pinch of baking powder. And remember, baking powder is what we use with sweet milk, fresh milk, and we use bread soda with buttermilk. So we're making sweet scones with sweet milk. So it's a pound of self-raising flour with a pinch of baking powder, 4 ounces of butter, and I put the flour in on the butter. As you can see today, I'm using a see-through bowl. It's a little bit smaller than I'd like, but I thought you might see better how everything goes. I have washed my hands again, and in this time, it's so important to be washing our hands. Every time we do anything or leave the house for anything, we come back in and wash our hands for 20 seconds. And you remember, wet your hands, go around the back, go around on each side, in under the nails, around and around the thumbs for 20 seconds and then rinse off. It is one of the best ways of preventing the spread of COVID. As well as if you're coughing or sneezing, into a tissue and then bin it, or into your sleeve, and then remember to wash the clothes you're wearing frequently. No handshaking and our 2-meter distance, which isn't easy, is it? Anyway, back to our scones. I have a pound of self-raising flour with some baking powder in this and 4 ounces of butter. And now I'm going to rub the butter into the flour. You'll remember this, it's just lifting the butter out and rubbing it into the flour. So you can see as I do this. And in fairness, you all did this so well. I am messy when I do things. My family will all vouch for this. I would much prefer to have a bigger bowl, but this was the biggest see-through bowl. So I thought it's probably the one I should use for this. So don't mind when you see bits spilling over the edge, but you rub the butter in until it's like breadcrumbs, and it does just take a few minutes. So again, we're making sweet scones, and you can choose whatever you want to put into them. So for today, I've chosen to put in dried cranberries, coconut, and the zest of a lemon. They'd be lovely lemony fresh scones. I love them, and they're really easy. If we wanted, as you know, you could put in apple and cinnamon, you could make it pear and almond, or you could go for a savoury scone with cheese, chives, sun-dried tomatoes, whatever you like, okay? But we're back to our basic recipe. A pound of flour, 4 ounces of butter rubbed in, then 2 ounces of sugar and whatever we would like to flavour it with. So a pound of flour, 4 ounces of butter, 2 ounces of sugar, and then 1 egg and 200 mils of milk. Okay, so this is nearly ready. It doesn't take long. And you can be chatting away, listen to your music, having a bit of a laugh, and rubbing in the flour till it's like fine breadcrumbs. Okay, I'm nearly there. And I didn't spill too much, which is good, because I am very messy, as you all already know that already. Okay, so I'll just show you what this looks like. So that's my butter rubbed in. There's no lumps of butter, it's like fine breadcrumbs. Then I'm going to add in this bowl, I have 2 ounces of sugar. It says caster sugar, but granulated sugar, normal sugar is perfect because it's so fine anyway. I have about 2 ounces of cranberries and about 2 ounces of desiccated coconut. I love coconut. Some people don't like coconut. I'm just separating some of these cranberries here and I'll mix that in. So this is where I'll notice the bowl is going to be quite small. Whoops, did I leave? No, and mix that in there. Normally, as you know, I get right under and bring it up, but I can see I'm going to go over the edge of the bowl very quickly. Anyway, then here I have my 200 mils of milk and I cracked an egg into it. So I get a fork and I mix quickly. I'm not just swirling around the egg white. You want to whisk it so that you break up the egg white and you mix it in with the milk. And then that will be a very even liquid, okay? I'll pour that into the middle, get it all in, and then I'll fold that around. Okay? I am looking for this mixture to be a nice consistency that if I put it out on a board, I would be able to form the, oh, there's a little lump of butter. Interesting. So it's not too late for me just to mix that in. And I've just done that. Now I washed my hands, as I said, for 20 seconds, a good 20 seconds, actually it was 30 seconds I'd say, just before I came on air. So my hands are good and clean, but I'm just washing off the butter. But if you can get into the habit every time you wash your hands, if you can do it for 20 seconds. This mixture is a little bit dry, and I added extra with the cranberries and the coconut. So it's just a little bit drier, so you can see now the mixture is getting that it'll form a shape. I do not want this mixture sloppy. I wanted that if I formed it, cut it into scones. Oops, and you can see I am dropping a few things here. My surface was really clean before I started. I don't mind telling you, I spent about an hour cleaning up the kitchen before I started this, because my kitchen is always a bit of a mess. Now this looks pretty good, okay? So you can see the mixture. If I put that out now, I would be able to shape that into scones, all right? So that's a nice mixture. I'm going to get my tray, which I had meant to put out. I like to use parchment on it. And then I'll get my milk. Can you see me here? Oh, I never put the zest of a lemon. I have washed this lemon already, and I'll just put in a little bit of lemon around it. It's not too late. And you know my little zester, I know some of you found it a little tricky to use. It does take a tiny piece of practice, but when you get used to it, oh, the smell of that lemon is lovely. It's really useful because you can put an orange twist or a lemon twist on different things, or a limey twist. So it's really good. And that lemon, I call it now a naked lemon, and I'll put it in the fridge and I'll use the juice for something else. I'll just mix that zest in. Okay, again, I'm finding it hard to get under it all because the bowl is too small. This bowl does not suit my messy technique. Okay, then I am going to get my ice cream scoop. I pour a little bit of milk into my jug. I get my ice cream scoop, I wet it with the milk, and I'll take a scoop of the scone mixture and out it goes. Okay, a scoop of the scone mixture and out it goes. And I will get 12 scones out of this mixture. So 1 pound of flour, 4 ounces of butter, 2 ounces of sugar, 1 egg, and 200 mils of milk or thereabouts will make me 12 delicious scones. So I'm just putting them out. You can see how the ice cream scoop really gives them a nice form. And I'll tell you what else is nice about that. It actually makes them more or less the same size. I made a couple of them a bit big at the beginning there. And I might just have one more. Okay. So there are my scones. I'll scrape out the end of the bowl. Pop it into a scone there. And then I'm going to get my little brush and pop a little bit of milk on this here. Now, there's my son looking for me. Ask the girls from the sunroom. Okay, and I pop this on so you can see I'm putting a little bit of milk onto the top of these, and in they'll go into the oven. And I will time them. They will be about, I just knocked the jug of milk onto the floor. They will be about 20 minutes, okay? So I'll put them in there and I'll set my timer and I'll see you back. In the meantime, I'll wash my floor. Now back again, hi, 20 minutes are up, floor is washed, hands are washed, and let's open this oven and see what the scones are like. I checked them a couple of minutes earlier because, as you know, sometimes they take, give or take, 20 minutes depending on the temperature of the oven. It could be a little bit more or a little bit less, so they look lovely, don't they? So I'm going to put them out on the tray and they will cool, and then I will put my little finishing touch on, namely a sprinkle of icing sugar. It's funny, I love cooking and I always do my best when I cook, but honestly, sometimes what I cook is very basic and very, very simple. But if you finish it off nicely, you can really add to the whole experience for those who are going to eat it. So now we have a little tray of scones. Have a good morning.